All right. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Saturday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Banners of the People. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com, restoredmotions.com, and ProChargeEV.com. All right, game day, everybody. LSU, Army, camo end zones, all the good stuff. Tigers get a little bit of a breather today. It's fair to say that, right? This is one that you shouldn't really be sweating today. Hopefully just a fun day in and around campus, and Tigers get a win, get some guys healthy, get a week off, and then get ready to go take on Alabama. Meanwhile, look at the flip side of it, right? LSU gets to play Army this week, gets to rest some guys, get healthy, all that stuff. Alabama's got to play Tennessee. Excuse me. A big rivalry game and all that stuff. So they hardly have a layup this week. So in that respect, kind of plays in LSU's favor. So wait to see word on we'll wait to see final word on Army's quarterback situation for today. We had Jeff Monken on the show on Thursday, and he was pretty non-committal, for good reason. Wasn't really disclosing, willing to disclose too much there. But Bryson Daly is their quarterback. He's a junior. He's not only their leading passer, but also their leading rusher. And he was injured in their last game against Troy, and their freshman came in, and it didn't go super hot for the young fella. His name is Champ Harris. So Champ Harris, the freshman, came in when Daly got hurt, and Harris went 6 of 13 for 63 yards, no touchdowns and a pick. And then he ran the ball 9 times for minus 17, along of 5. So obviously there was sack yardage in there. But anyway, not super duper great, but should be a day that LSU can go take care of business. Great weather. We'll have a fun night tonight at Don Juan, and keep on trucking. So y'all fire away. Let me know what y'all got. We'll say some good mornings here on this beautiful Saturday. It's a beautiful game day. A lot of good football today. I'm excited about this day of football. We got Ohio State and Penn State at 11 a.m. Bama, Tennessee at 2:30. Night slate's really good. Not just the LSU Army. We got Utah, USC tonight. So some real marquee games throughout the day. Hey, Kelly Gross, Randy Dabdoob, late start. Well, yeah, I've been up for a while, just having my coffee, playing with Drew, just, hanging a little bit. Christian Geiger, good morning. Mark Vitanovich, good morning. Larry Freeman, Bubba Smith, what's going on? Mark wants to see Nussmeier play in the second half a bit. Sure. How about LSU big blowout, let Jaden play for 3 quarters, get all his stats, and then give Nussmeier the 4th. Fine by me. Brad David, what's up? Make defense great again. Matt, when you say Bryant Denny, why do you say Den he? It's just Den Nee, you're the only person who says it like that. Being a grammar stickler, we expect better from you. I don't understand. That's what I'm saying. Brian Dennehy Stadium. Tiger Diver, good morning. Who we betting today, Scone? Let's see. All right. I make Phil Steele's plays. Phil has been en fuego. I don't know any other way to tell you that. Last week he was 6-3-1, and one of them was he took A&M against Tennessee, which I did not like that pick, so I didn't take. So I went 6-2-1. Week before, I think he was 9-3 on the 12 games that he gets. So I throw out 12 games to him on AFR, the sort of SEC and marquee games, and he's, if there's no play, he'll tell you no play. And I think yesterday of the 12 I gave him, we had 10 plays. So Penn State, Ohio State under. Arkansas laying 6.5. Try to do this as I scroll through the schedule from memory. Alabama to cover the 8.5. South Carolina plus 7.5. Iowa laying the 3.5. Oklahoma State plus 3. Auburn plus 6.5 at home. Michigan covering 24, big number, but Michigan to cover the big number. USC laying 7 at home. Florida State laying 14 at home. And that was it. Those are the plays. Phil Steele, so that's what I'm playing today. All right. Brad David, do you know if there are any future renovations to Tiger Stadium planned? Not that I'm aware of, not right now anyway. I mean, I'm sure I know they're always looking at ways to like widen concourses and all that sort of stuff. But as far as like expansion or anything like that, not that I'm aware of. I mean, my suggestion has always been rip out every bleacher and make the entire thing chairback. So everyone gets a chairback seat. That would reduce capacity and make everyone more comfortable. I would also remove the east upper deck and make that essentially like a platform, standing room only sports bar type vibe. That's what I would do. If I could just, make my own decision. Like whatever I say goes. But, all that would have to be approved, and there's logistics, and there's money, and all that sort of stuff. Cameron Tate, good morning from Boiling Springs, South Carolina. Okay. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Coming to you live from Houston. Colby says hi, hashtag Team Drew. Thank you, Cliff. Good morning, Colby. Hope y'all are doing awesome. Taylor Hudson, morning, Matt. Go Tigers. Do you get any income from YouTube, as they always put ads at the beginning of your live feeds? I do, Taylor. Full disclosure, yes. My my channel is a monetized channel. The amount of money, however, I make from YouTube is not exactly life-changing. Let's put it to you that way. Austin Kidder, good morning, Matt. Go Tigers and go Army. What game are you most looking forward to today? Well, the obvious answer is Penn State, Ohio State. I think, from a national perspective, curious to see if Penn State can win a big game under James Franklin. And then the other one I would tell you is Bama, Tennessee, because, LSU plays Bama in a couple of weeks, and I'm curious how that goes, So yeah, those two. I also think Auburn's going to beat Ole Miss today at Jordan-Hare Stadium. I think they're going to win. I know Auburn's offense has not been good, but I think Auburn is going to beat Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss's defense stinks. I think Auburn's defense is pretty good. I think at home at Jordan-Hare, really tough place to play. So I'm definitely taking the 6.5 with Auburn, but I think they're going to win the game outright. Lonnie Collier, good morning, Matt. Let's go. Andy Boy, whoop. I get it. I guess that's supposed to be a scone, but that really looks like a croissant. Let's see. In Baton Rouge from Dallas for the big game today. Okay, Andy Boy. Welcome to BR. Trivia Carter, good morning. Thank you, LSU Grounds Maintenance crew, for using USMC camouflage patterns. Okay. I didn't know there was a difference in the camouflage patterns. Perhaps someone should have told him that. Because if you notice that, my guess is the Army folks will as well. I mean, it's fine, I guess, going with the camo end zones. It's a one-off. It's something you do because you're playing Army. I don't know. I like the idea of the paratroopers. That's pretty cool. So I got paratroopers that are going to be, parachuting in the Tiger Stadium before the game. Well, actually, I'll give you the time, so hang on. No, I'm not going to be able to open this up. Okay, good, I will. There we go. Nope. Okay, never mind. Let's see. Zachary Snider, good morning, Matt. What's the over-under on disconcerting signals? Again, I don't think it's going to happen. Remember, for non-conference games, typically you hire officials from the non-conference opponent's league. Now, Army's an independent, so I don't know where the officials will come from. But, again, I believe what seems obvious to me is that this was an objective or an initiative from the SEC office. And so that's why I think you're seeing it in SEC games now. This is a non-conference game that should have non-SEC officials officiating. And if that's the case, then I don't think you're going to see it called. Wendell Norman, Dalton Barnett, good morning from Aggie Land. I'll do my best to destroy from within. Larry Garner, good morning. Quan, you think after starters get 30 on the board, the backups and freshmen play? Hard to say because, I mean, let's be real, Quan. I mean, LSU could have 30 early in the second quarter. It's possible, depending on however this goes. And I don't think it's so much that. I think you also want to make sure you get guys reps, and you want to make sure that they keep their stamina and endurance up and game reps and game speed and all that. So, the other thing I'll tell you too, man, is, we got to see what the LSU defense does because, man, we've seen a lot of not great performances by this defense, and you're going to face an offense that relies on deception and misdirection. And all right, E-Rock's got her Jordans on. You've worn them before.
Not like this.
What do you mean not like that?
Huh?
What do you mean not like that?
I like leggings and...
Oh, leggings, little cheetah print hat, Roni the Tiger shirt. What?
You look stupid.
No, I'm just talking about your outfit.
Are we going to order us lunch on Islands Friday?
Not really.
What are you going to eat for lunch?
I don't know. Fine, come on lunch. I have stuff here. No, I don't need. No, I'm good. I don't like La Madeleine.
Is it because of that?
I mean, partly, but I'm good.
Okay, well, I don't have anything.
Then get your lunch. What?
I don't like eating when I'm eating.
You eat every night at like 10 o'clock. She eats dinner at like 10 o'clock at night. Zachary Snider, morning, Matt. What's the over-under on... Oh, it did that one, sorry. Melanie Willis, good morning. Finally able to catch a live. All right, Melanie, welcome. Good to see you. Mikey, the Saints fan for life, good morning. Tim Gotro, Thomas Primo.
Do you want me to stop somewhere else?
What, Erica?
You don't have anything, you're not getting anything here. We're going to go...
Yeah, I do. I got a ton of lunches in there.
Okay.
I like that. I don't like the dinners.
I can't go stop anywhere else for lunch.
Oh my God. I'm doing a live show, Erica. We can talk about lunch when it's lunchtime. How about that? Erica, let me do my live show. We can talk about lunch at lunchtime. It's 10 a.m. I just had coffee and a scone. I'm not thinking about lunch. Tell you what. Blaine Crochet, good morning. Wondered the same thing at Make Defense Great Again. What about Brian Dennehy Stadium? I don't understand. What's the big deal? I mean, I get it. It's the former president and the former coach. It's like the former famous football coach and the former president of Alabama. It's hyphenated. Their names combined. It's Brian Dennehy Stadium. What's the problem? Damon Gilmore, good morning. Matt, if we lose to Army, we should panic. Mikey, if LSU loses to Army, we should fire Brian Kelly on the spot. Completely. That would be a completely unacceptable result as a 32-point home favorite to lose to Army. Let's see. Damon Gilmore, I can't play my moneymaker this week. LSU team total has been money all year. 45.5 is too much. I'm with you, Damon. I looked at it yesterday and I was like, ooh, 45.5, not touching that. Do you think Brian Kelly will ever change when the bye week is? Wilk, LSU doesn't get to determine that. That's based on the league schedule. And the league gives LSU and Alabama the bye before they play. It wasn't always that way. Okay. Morgan Miller, what up, bro? Hopefully, Matt. Hey, Matt. Morning, Matt. Hopefully, T-Bob's house isn't invaded tomorrow after he screams, F the Army today. He never said that. He didn't say that. He said, it was the troops. I think he said, we're not going there. We're not going there again. It was tongue-in-cheek. It was obviously sarcastic. We're not going there. I don't need to create. I know you're just joking, but I don't need to create any confusion with people who didn't hear it. Now wonder, what did he say? What did he say? Everybody's trying to cancel people all the time. We ain't doing no canceling around here. Weston Weaver, Gerard Guillory. Why are Big Ten games always 11 a.m.? That's like their tradition, man. They play at 11 a.m. in the Eastern time zone. That's noon, but yeah. Melanie Willis, maybe you talked about it. What's your take on the alleged Michigan sign stealing? I don't see the big deal at all. So apparently they had a Marine on staff who is using military tactics and would go to opponents' football games to try to steal their signs. Yeah, I mean, every game is televised, so you can get a view of sidelines anyway. It happens in-game, every game. I've heard Matt Flynn talk about this openly over the years about how even in the NFL, he was great at stealing other teams' signs, and that's what they would do. He would stand on the sideline, look at the other team, and get their signs. It happens in baseball all the time. Now, I know the whole thing, like the Astros thing was controversial because they were using a camera in center field to like video, then they were banging on the trash can. Whatever, right? So I can understand why that's not acceptable. But if you go to a football, I mean, scouting teams, your opponent, going to their games, I don't think it matters. Whatever. Whatever. They should impose a bowl ban for Michigan. Let's see. Gwaine, good morning. From Matsu. In for the Army game, go Tigers. Maybe check out Whiskey and Wine after the game with some friends never been. Come on by, man. We'll be there. I tell you, Gwaine, the tough thing, just a heads up, is if you're at the game, getting from Tiger Stadium to Don Juan, fighting traffic and all might be tough. So, but we'll be there, man. I get there at halftime. T-Bob is there to watch the whole game. But I'll get there at half, and then as soon as the game ends, we go live. So, we'll look forward to it, man, and we'll hang out for a little bit after, too. So, hope to see you there, man. It'd be great to meet you. Shane Big Fella, what up? Good morning. I'll be watching LSU Army and UFC 294. How about UFC 294? This is one of those days, Shane, where I don't want to say football season's a bummer because I love football season. But in football season, during football season, I can never watch MMA. I never get to watch MMA during football. I mean, but you have two legit main events. It's not even like a main co-main. Like either one of those fights could headline a pay-per-view. I mean, this is a heck of a card. I mean, Makhachev and Volkanovski is going to be awesome. And to see Kamaru Usman fight always is awesome. So, dude, those Eastern European dudes, man, I tell you what, though, they are like taking over the sport. Anyway, I would love to watch those fights tonight. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be watching. Be locked in football. So, like my MMA consumption goes to virtually zero during football season. So I get my fill from like January to July. Like usually International Fight Week is about the last time throughout the course of the year that I'm really locked in on MMA until football's over. Let's see. Question: Are you and T-Bob going to resume the Oliver Twist show that is around the corner from my uncle's house? Great place. So yeah, we a little bummed. We we had done Scone and Tea for more than a year, every week for more than a year. We'd done the show really for 2 years, and then Oliver Twist had to pause, which is fine, and we've looked for another location to do it. And we had a location, but then the day didn't work because when Oliver Twist paused, T-Bob had something with his family on Wednesdays, and then they could do another night. Anyway, it just, I'm sure we'll resume at some point. It just, schedules got crossways this fall, unfortunately. Meridoc, good morning. No Rogers for State, Arkansas minus 6.5. Yes, I did play Arkansas minus the 6.5. Let's see. Oh, Erock left. Make defense great again. Troy Plummer. Morning, Matt. How did the MRI go? I haven't gotten my MRI results. I need to get, I don't even know where to, I guess I should call the doctor. But did the MRI on, what was that, Wednesday? MRI was fine, but I didn't get the results of it. Brian Turner, Mikey, the Saints fan for life. Army style of offense shouldn't worry you. Yeah. I mean, every offense worries me with this LSU defense, Brian. I mean, you're talking about an offense that requires, a defense to play with eye discipline and to tackle soundly and to be in the right place at the right time. And that's not exactly the MO of this LSU defense. So, yeah, little bit concerned about it. Not about LSU winning, but about LSU being disciplined and so, yeah. Greg Self, what's up? Room 40. I know I'm late. This is likely unrelated to the current conversation, but my Lord, is car horrific. Yeah. Welcome to the party. And, I've kind of been on that train for a while now. But, the train cars are getting full. Jeff McKithen, what up? Let's see. Brand Roban, morning, Scone. All my Vol friends up here have little faith in their offense and don't think they will win. Yeah, me either, Brant. That's why I laid the 8.5 with Bama. I don't think Tennessee's going to score, and especially with Bama truly wanting a little revenge after last year and getting that game at home. And I think everyone realizing Tennessee's offense last year was such a huge part of, was Hendon Hooker more so than Josh Heupel. Anyway, Mark, who's a better pro prospect in the state at quarterback for next year's draft, Jaden Daniels or Michael Pratt? Yeah, I can't say I've seen a ton of Michael Pratt, Mark. But you look at all the draft analysts and all, they like Pratt a lot. But I kind of feel like Jaden, with his performance this year, like coming into the season, that wasn't even close. Pratt was higher rated. I think as the season has gone along and Jaden has shown his development as a passer, I think he's probably overtaken not only Pratt, but a lot of players. I think Jaden, if he continues this through the second half of the season, I think you're going to look at a guy that's going to make himself a first-round pick. He might not challenge Caleb Williams or Drake May, to be at the top of the draft, but could he be after those guys in that next wave where people talk about Pratt and Penix and Bo Nix and all that? Could he surpass those guys? I think so. Craig Dugas, top of the morning to you. Have you seen Cowboy Wade and the promotional stuff from East? I have not. Hey, Dad, good morning. Nicholas Alexander, go Tigers. Nothing negative to say on Army, of course. They're awesome on and off the field. Jeremy Sagely, what's up? Tim Forshey, good morning. You going to be able to see Cole Kubelik today since he's in town? Tim, try to connect with Cole. Cole's schedule's a bit odd, man. He because he does a midweek game and then travels. So we try to connect with him on Thursday because he did a Wednesday night game. I think he was doing the UTEP game Wednesday night. So he was doing a game Wednesday night, and then maybe went home and then came here, and then you have your meetings with coaches and staff and all that stuff. So anyway, a long way of saying probably not. Christian Geiger, off topic. I really wish Carr would compose himself like Breeze. Seeing all the pouting and calling out is going to get old real quick. Craig Duga, UFC starts at 1. It's not tonight. It doesn't matter, Craig. Like, I can't watch fights. I mean, I'll be watching Ohio State, Penn State. I'll be watching Bama, Tennessee. I mean, you've got a really good card of football today, man. A lot of SEC games that I'm excited about. Just what it is, dog. Mississippi State, Arkansas. South Carolina, Mizzou. Minnesota, Iowa. A lot of football consumption going on. John Hendricks. Hey, Matt. It's game day. Can't wait to see you at Don Juan. I'll be there, John. Look forward to seeing you, man. Always appreciate you coming out. Appreciate everybody who comes out. Where are we? Brennan Huff, Abner, Neal, Zachary Snider. What would your dream team secondary be using LSU grads? Give me Pat Pete and Derek Stingley at corner. Give me Tyron at nickel. Give me Jamal Adams at free and Grant Delpit at strong. David, you don't have my chart for the MRI results. I do, Dave. I should check my chart, shouldn't I? But I wouldn't even know how to read them. So, Cameron Tate, are we to the point where a Sunday with no Saints game is better than Sunday with one? Very disappointing. Kinda. We're going to go to church and then bring Drew to go get his hair cut Sunday at 1:30. So, should be watching my bets. J-Hoop 1975, Morning Scone, does a scenario where Cory Raymond comes back to LSU. Oh, do you see a scenario where Cory Raymond comes back to LSU to coach DBs? I would say that is not impossible. I would go so far as to say that if that job comes open, Cory Raymond would very much like to be considered for that job and to return. Now, will the job come open? Would Brian Kelly hire Cory back? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But I'm pretty confident in 50% of that equation, which is, would Cory want to come back to LSU? And pretty confident in saying, yes, he would. Stephen Fry making the drive as we speak. My whole lady's asking for Ask Rock. So Erica left. Normally we would, Stephen. So please tell your missus. I apologize, but some of you may remember. So Jake Riedel was Tommy Moffitt's assistant strength coach at LSU. And when Brian Kelly came in and they basically replaced the whole staff, obviously Tommy Moffitt wasn't retained, neither was Jake. Well, Jake Riedel got the job as the Army strength and conditioning coordinator. So Jake's wife, Megan, worked at St. Jude School with Erica. And so, Terrence Cody with the blocked field goal, 2008. 52-49 last year. Wow. Anyway, so Sorry, they're showing a montage of like the Tennessee Bama endings over the years. And this is them carrying the goalpost throughout the street. Anyway, what was I talking about? I don't remember what we were talking about. Oh, Riedel. That's right. So Jake Riedel is now the Army strength coach. His wife, Megan, worked with Eric at St. Jude. So this morning, a lot of the teachers and faculty from St. Jude, because Megan's in town, they're going to have breakfast at La Madeleine. So that's where she's going right now. Anyway, oh, cool. Well, that's a pretty cool piece of history there. Right. Please smash that like button if you would. Subscribe up to the channel. Facebook, please like the Matt Moscona page. Share the post. Volkanovski gone from plus 325 to plus 220. Interesting. Vernell Thomas, good morning, Scone. Weston Weaver went to the Auburn game last week. Made the mistake of parking south of the stadium. Terrible decision when trying to get back to I-10. Wife told me to ask my friend Matt for a parking pass. So I can't help you with a parking pass. As a matter of fact, my brother's coming in from Lafayette today with my nephew to watch the game. He's like, hey, where should we park? I'm like, I wish you would told me this sooner. I could have gotten you a parking pass. Maybe I still can today. But yes, I would always recommend parking north and then like around Nicholson and then heading north into downtown, back through the neighborhood to get to Government and then back to 10 or 110. Or to 110, whichever direction. Vernell, what's the name of the podcast you do after LSU games? Whiskey and Wine. T-Bob and I do it from Don Juan Cigar Bar. So if you're looking for it, Vernell, it'll be on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel as soon as the game ends. I mean, clock hits 0, boom, stream goes live. Hayden Seal, what's going on? Lawaski Watkins, good morning, go Tigers. The Tuscaloosa Tiger checking in from Corvallis, Oregon. Okay, that's random. Tuscaloosa Tiger in Corvallis, Oregon. Dave Ender. River Road to Choctaw. Be out of there in no time. It's not a bad idea. Matt, not sure if you remember my comments on Denbrock after Florida State, but I'd like to concede I was mostly wrong. Dude has been lights out since. I don't remember your comments. Sorry. No offense. You can see there's a lot of comments here. But if you were poo-pooing him, I'm sure that I shot you down. You don't have the type of track record over 30 years, and more than parts of 2 decades as an OC that Mike Denbrock has without being really good at your job. And he's really good at his job. You could be disappointed after a game for whatever reason. And sometimes a coach can have a bad game, like a player can have a bad game. And I'm not putting that on Denbrock. Quite honestly, I think the decision LSU made in the first half to twice go forward on 4th and short was stupid. And I think that was Brian Kelly's decision. That was Brian Kelly's decision. You take the points. And even if LSU just kicked 2 short field goals in those situations, you're up 9 at half. So when they score to start the second half, they don't take the lead. They're still down. The whole complexion of that game changes if you take points. I really want to do a segment on AFR about this, about why coaches hate points. Like Dan Lanning last week. Dan Lanning and Oregon lost last week because Dan Lanning hates points. Drew grunts like an old man. Like when he moves, he's just. I don't know what he's doing. In there. Let's see, Lawaski. Who are we losing to the draft? Losing 1-0. Sorry, grammar guy. Who do you think will stay another year? Well, offensively, I think the offensive line will be interesting because Charles Turner and Miles Frazier, Garrett Dellinger all could go pro, but they all could come back for another year. So I'll be interested to see what happens there, and I really don't have a good sense of it, Lawaski. I think Logan Diggs will go pro. He's had a great year. I'd love to see him come back, but I think he'll go pro. Obviously, Neighbors, Brian Thomas will go. Let's see, defensively, I assume Mason Smith is going to leave. Mekhi Wingo will be an interesting call. He's obviously had a really good couple of years here. He could leave as a junior. Would love to see him come back as well. And then, all the guys in the secondary could come back. Yeah, they could all come back, but do you want them? I don't know. Jaden, of course, then is out of eligibility too. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll get there when we get there, Lewoski. But I think you're not going to be hit with a quantity of guys going pro. But when you lose Jaden and Malik and Brian Thomas and probably Logan Diggs and Mason Smith and Mekhi Wingo, it's not like a giant number that you're going to lose, but you're going to lose a lot of quality. Robert Potts, Matt, good morning. Give me a reason to be excited about the NFL right now. Just seem to be watching strong teams with Tigers lately. Hey, man. Hey, Robert. I shouldn't need to give you a reason to watch the NFL. The NFL is great. If you want to watch football played at a high level, lock in, If not, all good, dude. I say do what you want. Spend your time watching what you want, man. I love the NFL. I'll watch I love football. I'll watch any two teams play any day of the week. So, to watch LSU guys is always a part of the reason. If you love sports betting, that's a reason. I don't know. Just watch football. Same reason I'll watch Ohio State, Penn State today. I'm just excited to watch a big football game. Let's see. Zachary Snider. All we hear is Cory Raymond. What other names are out there? Genuinely curious who's up and coming. Yeah, if you're talking about from a position coach standpoint, that's not exactly the thing that you hear up-and-coming position coaches like that. It's generally, you hear that when coordinators do a good job and then they're talked about to get head coaching jobs. You don't typically talk about who's an up-and-coming position coach. A lot of times, that's generally something that is very sort of like familial. A coach knows a coach player knows a system or played for that coach in his system and that sort of thing. How those connections get made for a position coach. And Zachary, I don't know why, if you had to make a change, why you would do anything other than hire Cory Raymond. Ryan Slade, good morning, watching in Frederick, Maryland. Okay, Ryan, thank you, bro. State 99, Matt, do you think Brian Kelly would ever consider bringing back O to coach D-line? Nope, and Ogeron would never come back either. Robert Potts, Matt telling us the news without telling us the news about Cory Raymond. Well, no, I'm telling you candidly here, I don't know if Brian Kelly would ever want to bring Cory back. I don't know that. I am confident in saying that if the opportunity presented itself, Cory would come back. I'm confident in saying that. But there's you understand the part of that equation is it's a double-sided coin there. Kelly would have to want to bring Cory Raymond back. Well, the job would have to be open. Kelly would have to want to bring Cory back, and then Cory would have to want to come back. What I'm confident in saying is that if LSU went to Cory Raymond and said, "Hey, come take your job back, come back to your alma mater, come live in Baton Rouge again," where Cory's parents are still, I believe, in Opelousas. Anyway, yes, he would come back. I'm confident in saying that. If the opportunity presented itself, Cory Raymond would come back. I don't know if the opportunity would present itself. Brian Turner, Zachary Snider, the DB coach at USC, the DB coach at Texas, or Pat Surtain at Florida State. But see, that's one of those, Brian, where if you're any of those guys, you don't leave those jobs for another DB coach job. You leave those jobs to become a DC or a co-DC, or you go to the NFL. Like, you don't go from DB coach at Texas to DB coach at LSU. Dave Endur, glad to see Jay got payday. Where he will stay long term, he may outdo Skip. I don't know that he wins 5 national titles, certainly not 5 in 10 years. But Skip was the coach here for 18 seasons, and I think it's very plausible that Jay matches or surpasses that. Matt did the Office, Jim Halpert face smirk. Matt did the Office, Jim Halpert's face smirk. He's telling us something about telling something. Robert Collins, 12:45 in the documentary. Let's see. Lewoski, I'm from Tuscaloosa. From Tuscaloosa. Love the Tigers. Go to Oregon State for horticulture. Do hemp breeding genetics. Hopefully OSU can win out in the Pac-12. What a connect the dots, Lewoski. That's pretty fascinating, man. From Tuscaloosa, loves LSU, goes to school at Oregon State in horticulture. Wow. You're like the most interesting man in the world. That's pretty cool. Oregon State's having a great year, man. Jonathan Smith, great coach. I mean, Reeser Stadium is a really tough place to play. I mean, they do not lose there often. Very interesting, man. Glad to have you. Thanks for watching, man. Robert Pontureri. Is it too early for the Saints to start tanking for Arch Manning? Arch Manning hasn't even taken a snap in college, bro. That's funny. Let's see. Austin, Matt, if it makes you feel better about the last-minute parking pass request, my family waits till after everything gets screwed up with their Cox accounts to ask me for help. Generally how it happens. Jared Guillory, Mason Smith would be dumb to leave at this moment. So far, he's been average. Yeah, I disagree with you, Jared. Did you say Jared or you say Gerard? Either way. I disagree with you, man. When you're that big and physical, you're going to get drafted on potential. And I think a big part of this season for Mason, and again, this is where I go back to like fan echo chamber stuff. Number one, Mason was coming off a massive knee injury. Number two, he hurt his ankle in camp. So he's been dealing with not only coming off the knee, but also nursing an ankle injury the first half of the season. Hadn't played a full football game in almost 2 years. A lot of that was going to be conditioning, game reps, getting back up to speed. And it's not surprising that in the last couple of weeks, he started to play better and be more active, especially in a four-man front, which better suits him. So he is Brian Brzee from Clemson. He's a big physical dude, huge recruit, got all the measurables, and because of injury and some personal stuff, just kept him away from the field, but he still got drafted in the first round because of his boom potential, and that's going to happen with Mason Smith too. Jude McLaren, Solar Flares. Let's see, actually going to watch UFC today for the first time since missing the 11 a.m. slate. Glad the Tigers have a night game. Okay. Mike the Tiger, at least we're not Florida. I'd love it if the Saints drafted Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, or Bo Nix. The Saints have to draft a quarterback. I mean, you just have to. Understanding you are not going to win anything of consequence with Derek Carr, and you can't afford to get rid of Derek Carr. So you're going to end up paying Derek Carr a lot to be a backup. Let's see if the Saints draft Penix. He can't wear number 9. That's Breeze's number. Yeah, it's funny. Musso and I were talking about this week, and I brought it up because I saw Graham Mertz. And I was like, I can't believe the University of Florida keeps issuing number 15. Of course, it was Tebow's number, but since Tebow's played, they've had a lot of guys wear 15. Anthony Richardson wore 15 last year. Graham Mertz is wearing 15 this year. I just can't believe they're letting anybody wear 15. And I know the number's not retired, but they still don't have to issue it. Like, LSU has not issued number 9 in 4 years since Burrow played. Like, no, they're not. It's not retired, but they're not issuing the number. Like, nobody gets number 9. It's the same thing with New Orleans. The New Orleans Saints, what am I trying to say? The equipment manager. The guy in the Saints locker room who takes care of the jerseys and issue numbers, like, he refuses to issue number 9. He won't give it to anybody. So it's sort of informally retired. And they'll retire it one day, like they should. But it's so surprising to me. I mean, like, yeah, exactly. Nobody's gonna get 9 in New Orleans. Nobody's gonna get 9 at LSU again. I just can't believe that they issue 15 in Florida. I can't believe they let anybody wear 15. Anyway. Let's see. Forrest Wilkinson, is it just me, or have the Saints had issues in the red zone dating all the way back to the 17 to 19 playoffs? I'd have to go look up red zone stats, but no, I mean, the Saints were always one of the highest scoring teams in the league. John Hendricks, I watched the clip you said Dennis Allen isn't a head coach. I don't think he can coach high school. We have some good players, but not great players, not even decent coaching. I think Dennis Allen is a great defensive coordinator. He's just not a good head coach. Gary Atchison, good morning. Go Tigers beat Army. Michael Richard, good morning, Mr. Matt, diehard Saints fan. I think they can still put it together. Would you give Jameis another shot? The man got screwed big time. Michael Richard from the best bank of New Orleans, who that? Yeah, Michael, I'm not going to say Jameis got screwed. Jameis got hurt. And they've kept him around now for 4 years. It was Drew's backup, and then he was starting and tore his ACL, and then he was the starter last year and got hurt, and they played Dalton. And, they went into this offseason and felt Carr was a better option, higher ceiling option. I don't know that I necessarily agreed, but I don't know that I would say Jameis got screwed. I mean, the other thing I would point out to you, Michael, is if Jameis if the league felt he was good enough to be a high-level starting quarterback in the NFL, somebody would have signed him. They didn't. So for 4 years now. So anyway, I think there's kind of that consensus on Jameis. I mean, at this point, would I let Jameis play? Yes, I would. They're not going to because they've got time and $150 million invested in Derek Carr. So they're going to try to maximize their return on that investment. So they're not going to play Jameis. But would I at this point? Yes, I would. And I would still draft a quarterback, regardless. Gary, did you see where Jaden is up to third in Heisman predictions? Whose prediction, Gary? Because I'm looking at I look at the Heisman odds. And Jaden's fifth in the Heisman odds. After last week, Michael Penix took over the first spot. J.J. McCarthy and Dylan Gabriel are tied for second. Jordan Travis is third, and then Jaden's fourth, or Jaden's fifth. So Penix, McCarthy, Gabriel, Travis, then Jaden at plus 1,400. But he's right there. Say we talked about last week. Someone goes and clips Washington and Michael Penix has a bad day. Boop. I mean, Oklahoma does not play another ranked opponent, but they'll probably have a rematch with Texas in the Big 12 championship game. I think Oklahoma will lose. Dylan Gabriel. Boop. Could Jordan Travis, Florida State, go undefeated? Possibly. Jaden Daniels still will have better numbers than Jordan Travis this year. So just keep chucking along. Chucking along. All right, y'all. Anything else? Lewoski, thanks, Mr. Moscone. I never miss a scone. I always listen before class. Watch AFR in the greenhouse of the lab. Love purple, live gold. That's really cool, man. Glad to know you're out there. How about that? From Tuscaloosa, LSU fan who goes to school at Oregon State. Really cool. Zachary Snider, Ole Miss versus Georgia, is looking more interesting with Bowers out. Need Ole Miss to lose that game. Ole Miss is going to lose that game. I think Ole Miss is losing today to Auburn, by the way. Robert Pantoreri, if the Saints end up in the low teens, I'd like to see trade their high second-round pick, make a move for Drake May. Robert, it wouldn't surprise me. Remember, the Saints have Denver's second-round pick. So Denver might be, well, they are one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, as of right now, Denver is projected to have the number 3 pick. So that means they would also have the third pick of round 2, which would be the 35th overall pick. So in theory, the Saints could trade their 1 and that 2 to move up into the top 10, theoretically, to get to get a quarterback. There's someone sitting there. I don't think you're going to get Drake May if Drake May is sitting there at 2 overall, because that's going to take more than just this year's 1 and this year's 2. It's going to take, to go to number 2 overall, you're going to have to give multiple 1s, multiple 2s. So you would have to be pot committed to him. And I don't know if they are. Makachev and Volkanovski. God, that's going to be a good fight. David Woodard, about how much of a drop-off do we have next year in the wide receiver group? I know we have talent there. Surely the young guys are going to be day 1 game ready. David, I don't worry about it, man. I mean, I went through this earlier this week, actually, because if you just think back to 2019, right? Jefferson goes pro, and then you've got Jamar and Terrace Marshall back. Well, Jamar opts out in 2020. And Marshall is there, and then he opted out middle of the season. And what happened? Kayshawn stepped up and was a freak show stud. And then Kayshawn comes back in 21, and then he has the injury at Kentucky. And what happened? Malik Neighbors steps up and is a freak show stud. And so now Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas are this great tandem, and they'll be gone after this year. Probably Kyron Lacey too. And so what's going to happen? Well, Shelton Sampson, Kyle Parker. How about that? I got Kyle Parker's name. Anyway. They're already doing picks? 10:44? Anyway, one game day? Anyway. Right. Oh, you know what I never did, y'all? Well, not that y'all care, but I do want to post the HUDCO link in here if I could. Appreciate everybody watching. 133 watching live, only 55 likes. If y'all could take a second there on YouTube and just smash that like button, I would really appreciate it very much. And if you're new, please subscribe up to the channel. Appreciate y'all for being here as always. We mentioned it this week. Monday of this week, the state of Louisiana opened up its second window for fortified roofing grants. Fortified roof is basically an extra layer of protection on your roof, and the state is offering up to $10,000 grants for a fortified roof for homeowners in Louisiana. So if you're interested in learning more about fortified roofing or having a fortified roof installed in your home, interested in the grants available, click that link. That's the link I just posted is the link for fortified roofing through HUDCO. And HUDCO is not new to this. HUDCO was the first ever Louisiana-based certified fortified roofing company. We're the first Louisiana-based roofing company. Like there's other out-of-state roofers that have come here that do fortified, but we're the first Louisiana-based fortified roofing company. And so we've been doing fortified roofs, and we've been working with all the fortified people. And anyway, love to help. Just click that link if you're interested, and we'd love to get you more info and see if we can get you a fortified roof. When Joe Sloan gets an OC job, who replaces him? Brandon Harris may be a great recruiter. I don't know. Let's see. Wingo is my fraternity brother. Worst thing, I went to Troy, and that game in 17 was the hardest thing for me. Yeah, I was there too. That sucked. Jude McLaren, what are the chances Carmichael and Allen get let go after the season? Jude, if this thing keeps nosediving, if you go this offseason, spend that money on Derek Carr, and then you turn around and you go 5-12. You go from 7 wins to 5. You keep declining. Yeah, I think it's a real possibility. I think it was obvious to see last year they should have made the move. At least we're not Florida. Let's see. I don't know why Jameis didn't come play after the bye last year. I agree with you. At that point, Dennis Allen was committed to Dalton, and I think that they should have played Jameis. I agree. Devin Johnson, good morning, Matt. About to head to Uncle T's for lunch, then to Baton Rouge for the game. Go Tigers. All right, Devin, safe travels, bro. Jacob Thompson, good morning. Let's see. Unfortunately, I think Washington wins out. Nah, Pac-12 is too tough. They'll fall. David, by the way, have been to several scrimmage games. It appears no one is wearing number 3. Who? Oh, you baseball. LSU baseball. Oh, okay. Got it. So you're saying because Cruz had number 3. I don't think that's a thing where they wouldn't issue 3 again for LSU baseball. Maybe it's just that there's nobody wearing it this year. Michael Thacker, Matt, did you see the graphic of start bench cut of Joe, Jaden, and Jamarcus? Will be your designation between the 3. Also, sorry for the copy paste from Facebook. You switched LOL. Start bench or cut. I would start Joe. Man. Here's the thing, Michael. I think all of us, because of Jamarcus's pro career, that has clouded how incredible he was here. Imagine if you had Jamarcus Russell in this offense. Ugh. I mean, of the 3, Jamarcus is by far the most physically gifted. He's the most physically gifted ever to play here. But Joe is Joe, and I would take Joe. So I would start Joe, bench Jaden, cut Jamarcus. But boy, that's tough. And maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment because of what Jaden's doing right now. But that's a good problem to have with those 3. Which protocol on retiring numbers? Does it have to be a certain number of years? So LSU, I don't know if you're talking about Saints or LSU. LSU does not retire numbers. They will retire a jersey, sort of just as an honor of the player, but they'll still issue that jersey number. The Saints can do whatever they want. LSU, for those types of honors, to retire a jersey, there's a 5-year waiting period. So I've said for years that when Glenn Dorsey finished in 2007, his 72 should have been honored in 2012. Like, I think they're a decade behind on honoring Glenn Dorsey. That should have happened. Glenn Dorsey, Kevin Falk should already be done, and Joe Burrow. Dorsey, Falk, Burrow, those 3 should be done. I don't know why they're not. I mean, someone has to go formally go through the Hall of Fame committee and make the formal submission, right? And apparently that hasn't happened because, to my knowledge, it's never come up for a vote or anything like that. But let's see. Just hoping the Bensons don't hold out. Let's see, Wilk, we should be 7-1 going to Tuscaloosa. I agree. Go win. You're set this week. You're 7-1. You get a week off. There will be other teams ahead of you that lose between now and the time you go to Bama. That's going to be the CBS night game. And go get a big win, man. That'd be great. Michael Thacker, we all definitely have recency bias for the 3 quarterbacks. No doubt, but Joe is the easiest one to say, the start, bench, or cut. Joe's the easiest one because he literally had the greatest season in the history of college football. And it's translated to the NFL, and he won the Heisman. And Joe's the easiest one. The tougher part is Jaden, who's having a Heisman caliber season, and Jamarcus, who's the best physical talent ever to come through here, who was a great college quarterback, who just had a perfect storm of bad things happen with him, to him, for him, by him in the NFL. That his NFL career busted. But anyway. Okay, I think we're done, y'all. Appreciate y'all for being here. We're about 8 minutes away from kickoff of the morning game, so y'all enjoy. Have an awesome day. Samuel Merrifield, what's up? Colin Lawrence. Or Muso's picks this week. I don't know. Ben Dupuy in town from Prague for Papa's 100th birthday. Hopefully get a chance to hang at Don Juan. I'll be there, Ben. Come say hi, man. Remind me that you're in town for your Papa's birthday. It'd be great to see you. All right, y'all have an awesome day. Thanks so much for watching. John asked about the 30.5 spread for LSU Army. I'm not touching. I started at 32. I'm not touching the spread. Not betting the LSU Army game. I don't think there's any value there. But good luck to everybody who is wagering today. Shout out to HUDCO Roofing, HUDCORoofing.com. YouTube, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Facebook, like the page, share the post. We'll see y'all. Have a great day. Go Tigers. Go Tigers. Peace.